St. Pius.
Okay. And Nepean. Players can introduce themselves. From Pius, we have
Thomas Martini.
and from Nepean, Tom Rourke. We'll play 3 rounds of questions with a minute break between each round. Now, if the scorekeeper is ready, let's begin round 1. 40-point snap start in round 1. The object of what game is to peg 121 points? Hello? Darts? That's not correct. Tom? Cribbage. That's correct. The Janissaries were soldiers who belonged to a special... Tom? The Turkish Empire?
Yeah.
That's a violent. What is the term for a person who claims that his beliefs prevent him from bearing arms in his country's armed forces?
Pacifist?
That's acceptable then. Could you please wait till you're recognized? 30-point open question, geographic littles. The early French explorers called this place La Petite Roche. It's now the capital and largest city in... How long?
Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yes, we'll accept that.
They call it the Little England of the Caribbean. What West Indian island nation is known by that description? Tom?
Bermuda.
That's not correct. Carl?
Barbados.
That's correct. It was
20 points for St. Pius, and I think you have to deduct 10. Yeah. Okay.
It was established by a major American expedition in 1928 on the Bay of
Little America.
That's correct.
No.
No, sorry. I'll finish the question for, I'm sorry about that for Pius. I'll finish the question. It's known as Little America. On what continent is it located? Carl?
Asia.
That's not correct. 30-point open question on math. What is the square root of 225? Janice?
15.
That's correct. What is the cube root of 27? How long? 3. That's correct. What is the square root of 900? Dan? 3. That's correct. I have a 35-point team question. Part 1, scramble for 5. In 1704, this world-renowned scientist went against the norm of his time by publishing his book Optics in English rather... Dan?
Newton.
That's correct. Nepean can now answer the following questions on stars of Newton. Through his experiments, Newton found that large refracting telescopes were impractical and therefore turned his attention to what type of telescope? Yes?
Reflecting.
That's correct. Although Newton made many scientific advances in several fields, he's primarily known for his contributions to physics, which included the 3 laws of what? Janice?
Motion.
That's correct. In his work with light optics, Newton decided upon this Latin term to describe the light phenomenon he so frequently observed. What is the term? Janice?
Spectrum.
That's correct. 40-point open question on parliaments. What is the term describing a legislature such as Canada's that has 2 houses? Carla?
House of Commons.
That's not correct. Okay. Tom?
Biparliamentary.
That's not correct. Bicameral. What is the name of the modern British upper house? Tom?
The House of Lords.
That's correct. What was the name of the German legislature whose burning in 19...
Reichstag.
That's correct. What was the name of the representative assembly established in Russia by Tsar Nicholas II in 1905? The Duma. 20-point open question on sayings. The following are famous sayings. I'll tell you the story behind them. You give me the source. A farmer's daughter carrying a pail of milk on her head en route to market. Thomas?
La Fontaine.
No, I'll finish the question for you. Daydreams of the chickens.
Reset.
She will get in return. Suddenly, as the pail falls, spilling the milk, her mother says, "Don't count your chickens before they are hatched." Around since 510 BC, who wrote this fable? Yes?
Aesop.
That's correct. In a novel written in 1831, the main character attends a horse race in which the surprise winner had never been observed in the list. The author, who created the phrase dark horse, now used to identify any unexpected winner, was a distinguished Prime Minister of Britain. Who was he? Tom?
Walpole.
That's not correct. Thomas? Disraeli. 80-point assigned question on countries. Here's an assigned question on countries in which each member of each team is assigned a 10-point question. If you miss your question and your counterpart on the opposing team will have a chance at it for 5 points. I'll name a present-day nation that gained its independence following World War II. You name the country from which it obtained its independence. For the first one, follow Upper Volta.
Portugal.
That's not correct. Dan?
France.
That's correct. The second one for Carlo.
5 points.
That's 5 points?
Yeah. 120. 120. That's okay. You're learning. That's okay. Don't worry.
Okay, Carlo, what was that be? That's correct. For Thomas?
10 points. 10 points for a right answer. Okay. Yeah. 10 points. Okay. Yeah, you see? Okay.
Thomas, Uganda.
Great Britain.
That's correct. And for Doyle, is that here?
France.
No. Janice? No. Belgium. Okay, for Nepean, for Dan, Zimbabwe.
England.
That's
Yeah.
For Tom, Indonesia.
France.
No. Carl?
Great Britain.
No. The Netherlands. For Ian, the Philippines.
Spain.
No. Thomas?
Japan.
No. The United States. For Janice, Angola.
France.
No. Doyle?
Spain.
No. Portugal. 30-point open question on fashion. Born in 1914 of a wealthy Florentine family, this Italian designer is well known for elegant sportswear, his own multicolored print fabric and brilliant colors. He has a full line of accessories, including car roofs. His first name is Emilio. What is his last name? Carl?
Gucci.
I'm sorry? Could you repeat that, please?
Gucci.
No.
No. Gucci. This...
We'll have to go to a tiebreaker for the other team. Okay. Oh, that's okay.
Next question. This Parisian designer was known for her simple designs. Carl?
Coco Chanel.
That's correct. This designer started to design women's clothes in 1971, but had been known for his men's collection since the 1960s. A big hint. Polo. Carl?
Ralph Lauren.
That's correct. And we have a 40-point snap break in the round. For what vocation did Louis Riel study in Montreal? Ian?
Law.
No? Carlo?
The priesthood.
That's correct. Who won a Nobel Prize for Literature after writing One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich? Dan?
Professor.
That's not correct. Solzhenitsyn. Who will replace Peter Dubrov as the Commissioner of Base? Tom?
Barbara Giamatti.
That's correct. What is the term for a woman executor? Tom?
Executress.
No.
Executress.
No.
Could you repeat?
No.
I can't hear well enough.
Yeah, right. I don't think you quite said it right. The printed answer is executrix. Okay, it's one of those questionable things, but neither team got it. Now, we have a 1-minute break, but because of a slip, because Cablevision isn't broadcasting it, what we've done in the Ottawa East is we give a tiebreaker question to the team that deserves another question. So we'll go to tiebreaker 1 for Nepean. I think you should have got a chance for another question, right? Am I right? So, Greg, before we have the break, tiebreaker 1 for Nepean.
For Nepean. Okay. Who would be your great uncle? Carlo?
Your uncle's brother.
Tom?
Your grandfather's brother. Or your grandmother's brother.
No.
Yes, grandfather's brother, I think, works out.
That's a great.
That's a great uncle.
Great uncle. That's the question, yeah. It says uncle of your father, but that's brother of your grandfather.
This is too hard.
Okay? Yeah. Yeah, no. There's one printed answer, and I think Tom's right. Okay. We'll figure it out.
Try again. Which epoch of the Tertiary preceded the Pliocene and Miocene? The Oligocene. What type of beverage does one associate with the word pico? Tom?
Coffee.
Carlo? Tea. That's correct. Which royal house ruled Scotland from 13th?
The Stuarts.
That's correct. 40 point, what am I question? This question is worth 40 points if you guess the answer on the first clue and 10 points less with each succeeding clue until either team answers the question correctly. Clue A. I am a high-profile pattern finally agreed upon after a long and horrendous argument about appearance that would have put a Paris fashion house to shame. What am I? Tom?
Paisley.
No. Last? Carl? No. Clue B. I am elegantly styled in a simple hard-edged pattern, austere at the sides with a little more configuration in the middle.
The Looney?
I'm sorry?
The Looney?
No. Carlo? No. When I'm out in public, I catch everyone's eye, waving alluringly to anyone who passes by. What am I? Janice?
Race.
No. Thomas?
La Bonhomme.
No. I was officially recognized on February 15th, 1965, and if I could talk,
The Canadian flag.
that's correct. I didn't hear it.
Audience, I didn't catch that. Did Pius have the light first?
No, the light was stayed on, wasn't set.
Oh,
And Tom's on.
and Tom was at, yeah, yeah.
It was okay.
Oh, okay.
The
Thanks.
lights-
Yeah, I didn't see him. Okay, thank you.
See, I can't read these and watch at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
And the buzzer, if I can't hear the buzzer, it's so much I can do.
And then they reset.
Which means I gotta go reset. Okay. Try again. 30-point open question on food. This word was borrowed from the Arawak Indians when the Spanish conquered the New World. It's a popular method of good weather cooking. Ian?
Barbecue?
That's correct. Peaches and cream is one variety of which tasty seasonal? Ian?
Corn?
That's correct. While both corn and steak are delicious when barbecued, the French prefer their steak almost raw. How would they ask for it? Janice? That's not correct. I'll finish the question for Pius. How would they ask for it in a restaurant? You may give the answer in either English or French. Carl?
Rare.
No. Blue or bleu. 30-point open question on history. 1989 marks several anniversaries of various important events in Canada's history. The following question will test your knowledge of these events. 240 years ago, in 1749, Britain founded what fort to counter the French fortress of Louisbourg? Job?
What can we do?
No. Janice?
Port Halifax.
Accepted. 1989 marks the 40th anniversary of the admission of what province? Tom?
Newfoundland.
That's correct. 25 years ago, Canadians received what form of identification for the first time? Tom?
Social insurance numbers.
That's correct. 40-point open question on Canadiana. Identify the following politicians of the 20th century. Who brought Newfoundland into? Joel?
George Mao?
That's correct. As Prime Minister, who brought in the Canada Pension Plan and gave Canada a new flag? Charlotte?
Pearson.
That's correct. formed North America's first socialist government when he lived? Tom?
Abraham.
That's not correct. I'll finish the question for Pius. When he led the CCF to victory in the 1944 Saskatchewan election. Carl?
C.D. Howe.
That's not correct. Tony Jones. Who was Premier of British Columbia for 20... Tom? That's correct.
Yeah,
One
correct.
open question on sculpture. Versatile as well in painting and architecture, this sculptor is famous for works such as his Pieta and Tom?
Michelangelo.
That's correct. This French sculptor often chose to forego the smooth contours of Tom?
Rodin.
That's correct. This American invented the form of abstract sculpture.
Henry,
Thomas?
Henry Moore.
That's not correct. I'll finish the correction or the question for Nepean. The form of abstract sculpture known as the mobile. Janice?
Warhol.
That's not correct. I was going to call it. Although known primarily as a painter, this artist was the originator of the constructed sculpture, usually depicting guitars and other musical instruments. Janice?
Picasso.
That's correct. 40-point open question on phobias. Agoraphobia is the fear. Thomas?
Of open arch spaces.
Yep.
That's correct. The hatred of foreign people or objects is Ian?
Xenophobia.
That's correct. Zoophobia is the fear of what? Carlos?
Animals.
That's correct. What phobia means the fear of poisoning? Ian?
Toxophobia.
Sure, that's correct. 30-point open question, Canadian Prime Ministers. What career diplomat held the positions of ambassador? Tom?
Lester B. Pearson.
That's correct. What Prime Minister proposed the NATO concept while serving as Secretary? Yeah?
John Eaton.
That's not correct. I'll finish the correction question for Pius. As Secretary of State for External Affairs in 1946, 2 years later, he succeeded Mackenzie King as Prime Minister. Carl? That's correct. Who had a platform of releasing Canada from dependence on the United States? His cabinet was split on defense issues and... Dan? That's correct. 40 points net right to end the round. What is the term for a solid bounded by 8 plane faces? Thomas?
Octagon.
That's not correct. Tom?
Octahedron.
Octahedron. That's correct. Le Havre, Calais, Marseille.
Ports in France.
That's correct. That's correct. Who owns the LA Kings Hockey Club? Tom? Powell?
Bruce McNaught.
That's correct. Who wrote the Icarus Agenda? Janice?
Robert Ludlum.
That's correct. 35-point team question. In this two-part team question, whichever team is first to answer correctly, the 5-point scramble question in part 1 is then eligible for the remaining 10-point questions in part 2. Part 1, scramble for 5. What did he see in 1678 when Father Louis Hennepin wrote a vast and prodigious cadence of water which falls down after a surprising... Tom?
Niagara Falls.
That's correct. Nepean, questions on Niagara Falls? Spent their honeymoon at Niagara Falls. Their groom was Jerome, younger brother of which emperor crowned that same year? Janice?
Napoleon.
That's correct. The falls have always attracted daredevils. In 1859, 3,000 spectators watched while which circus performer crossed the falls on a tightrope? No? Yes?
Houdini.
No.
No. No.
What's the correct answer?
London.
Okay. What is the name of the tourist boat that sails close to it? Ian? Name for this? That's correct. 40-point open question on Canadian habitations. What Hudson's Bay Post, also called Fort Churchill because of its river location, is North America's most northerly fortress? Dan?
Red River College.
That's not correct. Fort Prince of Wales. What large Halifax fortress constructed by... Go on.
The Citadel.
British fort on the upper Niagara River above the falls? Tom?
Fort George.
That's not correct. I'll finish the question. Was attacked 3 times during the War of 1812 and finally blown up by retreating American troops? Carl?
Oswego?
No. Fort Erie? What name did the loyal Sir James Douglas give to the new Hudson's Bay headquarters on Vancouver Island in 1843? Tom?
Victoria.
That's correct. Or,
Yeah.
okay. 30-point open question on sport. Who was the nose tackle for Edmonton Eskimos defense in November 1987? Powell?
Hector Pachi.
No. Okay. Finish the question. In the November 1987 Grey Cup. John Mendrich. Name the Argos head coach during 1988.
Pablo Village.
That's correct. What tennis player beat John McEnroe in the quarterfinals of the Players International in Toronto in 1988? Tom?
Ivan Lendl.
No. Thomas? Carl? No. Mark Woodford. 30-point open question on inventions. I'll give you the invention and the nationality of the inventor. You give me his or her name. What German invented the electric automobile ignition? Thomas?
Benz.
That's correct. Name the Englishman who gave us the Myers safety lamp. Hooker Davy. And now we want the Frenchman who invented the gyroscope. Huh?
Lavoisier.
No. Foucault. 160-point snap out to end the game. For Whom the Bell Tolls was used as the title.
Ernest Hemingway.
That's correct. In 1898, William Ramsay discovered 3 inert gases. Name any 2 of these. Tom?
Xenon and radon.
No.
No. There's still 2 left.
Xenon and helium?
No.
No. In what year were the first modern Olympics held? Tom?
1896.
That's correct. Warner Oland and Sidney Toller.
Charlie Chan.
That's correct. May 1st, 1931 saw the opening of what edifice important to Manhattan style? Dan?
The Empire State Building?
That's right. In what year did basketball make its Olympic debut? Hello?
1932.
That's not correct. Dan?
1952?
No, 1936. What is traditionally given on the 50th wedding anniversary? Hello?
Something of gold.
That's correct. In English, what is the meaning of the French word ennui? Hello?
Boredom?
That's correct. What is the name given to a flower cluster with stalks of about...
Bouquet.
I'm sorry?
Bouquet.
No, I'll finish for class. Stalks of about equal length radiating from a point at the top of the stem. Umbel. Name the horse that Canadian equestrian Ian Miller rode at the Tom?
Big Ben.
That's correct. Who was the French philosopher and mathematician who wrote
Descartes?
I'm sorry?
Descartes?
That's not correct. I'll finish the question for Nepean. Lettre provinciale and the famous Pensée.
Pascal?
That's correct. The word parochial means of a parish or narrow and provincial. Please spell it. Dan?
Parocial.
That's correct. What Canadian-born economist, now in America?
John Kenneth Galbraith.
That's correct. What Baltimore-born social climber said? Ian?
Wallace Simpson.
That's correct.
That's correct.
The Duchess of Windsor.
That's correct. What British poet and author of I, Claudius said, there is no money in poetry, but then there is no poetry in money either? Robert Grace. Do we owe anybody a question?
that's it as far as I'm concerned. Good game. Nepean, you go on to the next round. St. Pius, thanks for coming to the playoffs. It's really important. Every team does the best. Thanks a lot.